What's up, guys? Okay, so I got a little thing today, and I was pretty stoked about it. I'm a pretty big reader, and I'm always like programming. You can make it as complicated as like you can just make it complicated, right? And a lot of times you don't need to, but I do like to get educated on various other means and methods as like almost like a toolbox or something to like keep in the back of your head. One, just because it can make things refreshing. Two, it can kind of change how you look at something. And so I went back, and pretty much the guy that wrote the book on athlete guided training, subjective reporting turned objective, and kind of how to base your next moves on how you, the athlete, is feeling. Or allowing the coach to kind of make that call as well, like, oh, this is what appeared during this, and there, fatigue stops or something, whatever's going on. So, as the title says, want to learn something new, read an old book. I picked up this guy today, the Reactive Training Manual, RTS, so Mike Tertier, sorry. That guy is a crazy athlete, phenomenal coach, and his concepts were groundbreaking. It's stuff that people just didn't even give 2 cents to initially, and he kind of took it and made it, I don't want to say scientific, but made it more objective and allowed the athlete to kind of pivot and give more autonomy to the athlete when training. It's not a very big book, but definitely the grounds to a lot of what my training is kind of based on as well. But anyway, I come from a CSCS background, and that's all. Oh, what's going on? And that's all very percentage based and using these other means or methods. But I sometimes it's hard to add a objective measure to a subjective response, so RPE, and I think I need to revamp or revisit it so I can give a better meaning to it myself. So when I'm coaching or when I'm kind of going over it with an athlete, they have a better means to adjust as needed. Because again, if somebody's not, I had this discussion the other day. 85% is not always 85%. So when it comes to that, what are you supposed to do? What's the next move, or how can you transfer a pivot to still get the training stimulus that you want without sacrificing anything, right? So if you guys are really interested into looking at an old book that a lot of new wave lifting, even like back into college coaching, is getting back into, it's more of responding on how you're doing versus being stuck in this macro plan that doesn't have a lot of shifting or changing allowed into it. So read an old book, and that means any book really. A lot of starting strength stuff has good content in there, but it's not necessarily the Bible, right? Mike Ripto's programming manual is really interesting to read. So that's just my thing. Always try to learn, always try to read. I always have plenty of books that I never have time to read for, but I did get this one, and I do plan on reading it more because I think it's a gold mine. It's kind of got like a cult following almost. So let's see what it's about. I'll probably give a little review on it, but read an old book. You'll learn something new for sure.